Hello, and welcome to Fearfull Wickedness. I am your host, the storyteller. We hope you enjoy tonight's tale. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment.
Garrett Langston was 48 years old and hollow inside. No wife, no kids, no legacy. Just decades of the same thing over and over. Casual flings that never stuck, and an apartment that felt like a storage locker for a life half-lived. His work at the factory had plateaued years ago. Now, every week bled into the next. Emails, microwaved dinners, silence. He tried going to the gym, but it never seemed to do any good. Bars were full of younger, more attractive men. And the women he was attracted to didn't want an out-of-shape, middle-aged, balding old man. He went to therapy, but it felt like an expensive echo chamber. He didn't want healing. He wanted intensity. Something primal. Something that bit back. That's how he found Maison Eros. He read about it on a private forum, half rumor, half invitation. An establishment promising intimate experiences of surrender. No names, no photos, just a promise, total fulfillment. The building was tucked behind rusted fencing and graffiti-tagged dumpsters, marked only by a black iron plaque engraved with a rose pierced by a fang. He knocked. The door opened. The scent inside was intense, incense and perfume. Two women waited. One was tall, ice pale, with raven black hair and eyes like polished obsidian. "I'm Daphne," she said, her voice like silk-wrapped steel. The other, Mira, was lean and shorter, her long dark hair wild around her face. They wore crimson corsets, long gloves, and stilettos. "I'm Garrett," he said. I saw your ad. "We know who you are," Daphne said. "We know what you want," Mira added, circling him like a cat around prey. "I just want to feel something," he said. "Something deep. Raw." Daphne handed him a black folder. "Then all you need to do is sign." Garrett didn't hesitate. They led him down a hallway lined with mirrors. His attention was pinned to the sway of Daphne's hips and the way Mira glanced at him, hungry. The chamber they led him to looked like a cathedral of temptation. Flickering candles, red velvet, a massive wooden chair with leather cuffs, and a bed that looked as though it came from the Victorian age, large enough to fit 7 people easily. "Let me help you strip," Mira said. Garrett obeyed. No shame, no hesitation. For the first time in years, he didn't feel like an observer in his own body. He felt exposed and electric. Daphne approached and placed a cool hand against his chest. "Your heart is racing." Mira kissed his neck. "Let us take care of that." What followed was something out of a fevered dream. They didn't restrain him, not yet. He stood in the center of the candlelit room, bare and waiting, as Mira and Daphne approached like twin predators cloaked in lace and silk. Myra's fingers found his jaw, tilting his face upward as she studied him. "There's tension in every part of you," she said. "It's beautiful." Daphne stepped behind him, her hands trailing down his back, cold at first, then warming against his skin. "Let it break. That's why you came here, isn't it?" Garrett's voice gone. He nodded. Their mouths were on him then, Myra's lips brushing his chest, Daphne's teeth grazing his shoulder, playful, not yet piercing. They undressed slowly, deliberately, letting every layer fall like a spell being cast. Their bodies were perfect, but not in the artificial way of airbrushed fantasies. They were primal, fluid, powerful, ancient. Their skin was impossibly smooth, their mouths soft and relentless. Mira pushed him gently to the velvet chaise, straddling him. "We're going to take you apart," she whispered, one sensation at a time. They moved with impossible grace, never rushing, never hesitating. Myra's hips rolled against his, her rhythm slow and teasing. Daphne kissed down his spine, her fingernails leaving shallow trails, then pressed herself against his back, her breath icy on his ear. Every inch of him was explored, touched, claimed. They didn't make love, they devoured him, slowly, teasingly, until every thought had been stripped from his mind but one: don't let this end. Pleasure came in waves. Daphne's body wrapped around him like silk. Myra's voice urged him toward ecstasy. It wasn't just sex, it was worship, even if he was the altar. They guided him, not dominated, not pleaded, just guided, like dancers who had performed this ritual 1,000 times before. Garrett's body was no longer his, it belonged to the moment, to them. Every kiss was edged with hunger, every sigh echoed by his own. He cried out more than once, not from pain but from something deeper, a kind of mourning, maybe, for the years he'd spent numb. He reached for them like a drowning man grasping for air, and they enveloped him in warmth and shadow. Time blurred. He didn't know how long he had been there. By the time he collapsed between them, his body was trembling, his skin glistening, his pulse thudding like a drum. "I've never," he tried to speak. "You've never truly surrendered," Daphne said, running a finger down his chest. "Until now." Mira leaned in, lips grazing his. "And now that you've given us almost everything, there's one more thing we need." He laughed weakly. "Take more? I have nothing else to give." Mira grinned, her teeth just a little too sharp. "That's where you're wrong." Daphne straddled him again, but this time her eyes were pitch black, no whites, no soul. Mira lay at his side, her breath cold on his throat. "Wait," Garrett said. "What is this? What are you?" Garrett asked. Daphne leaned in, lips brushing his ear. "Hungry." She sank her fangs into his neck. Pain burst behind his eyes, but then melted into something dark and sweet. Mira bit his wrist, drinking deeply. The blood left him in pulses, and with it, his strength, his fear, and finally, his resistance. "Please," he gasped. "I don't want this." Mira licked the blood from her lips. "You wanted us, didn't you? You signed the contract, so now you are ours." Daphne stroked his cheek. "Your sexual endorphins are so intoxicating. The way they mix in your blood, and the way your heart pounds, pumping that beautiful liquid down our throats, is more sensual than you could possibly imagine. But before your journey's end, Garrett, you should know," their faces hovered above him, mouths slick with red. "We are not lovers, not goddesses, not salvation." Mira whispered, low and final. "Our only desires are carnal and edacious." When morning came, the room was empty. No blood, no clothes, no trace of Garrett Langston. Just cold wax and candle stubs. A faint scent of wine, and silence. Maison Eros no longer appeared in any forum or search result. Just an alley with a rust-colored door. A door that no longer opened.